Hey there, Airsofters. Today I have a review of a WeTech pistol. I got in a trade off Craigslist for a plate carrier and a bunch of other goodies. So, for features, well, it's a gas blowback. You can take propane or green gas. I recommend green gas instead of propane because, after all, it is a WE. It has standard blowback function. It has ambidextrous safety, extended slide lock, or it did not come with an extended slide lock. I put my own in. It has a black skeletonized trigger and a skeletonized silver hammer. The barrel is actually made of brass. They just painted it silver. What else? It has the standard sights. It could be adjusted for height and windage. And so, yeah. Basically, the only problems I have with this pistol so far was that the safety does not work unless you have the slide, unless you have the hammer cocked. When then it works, but then there's another problem with the ambi ones that they fall out easily. So I wouldn't buy the ambidextrous ones, or somehow glue it. And it's not loaded either for all you little butthurt kids about it. It has the orange tip, but I just took it off. It's on my other high capa because I was having a silencer on there. But yeah, it will come with a threaded tip. It has a rail, but you have to work on the rail. You have to trim them lower and add a segment for the rail because it doesn't work out too well. They don't do it. It has a subpar paint job, not the best. It'll scrape pretty easily. Pretty new, and it's already got some scratches into it in some wear. It has weed trays at the bottom. That's pretty much it. Slide meshing, pretty decent on these. There's a difference between the WEs and the CQB Masters, and there's a here, right back here. Here. There's a difference between the WEs and the CQB Masters. CQB Masters had more time put into it by using WE bodies, but always go with the CQB Master. There's like 10 points difference between a CQB Master and a WE. We have 45 ACP trades on all WEs and CQB Masters. It's just on the barrel. One thing that kind of got me confused was that 1911s that I see have a, what is it? Is it called injection bar or something like that? It goes right here. There's an injection like extractor. I think that's called.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called. You got it.
Yeah, I think it's an extractor. Someone correct me if they want, but this doesn't have it. Just has like a little shave down here, and they just repaint it. Not the best way to do it, but you can get what you get. You can get these for 100 is average, but I think now they start selling them for 80. But 100 is average. You never want to pay more for 110. Or if you can get them for 80, that's even better. What I highly recommend for upgrades right away when you get this is get a Garter 70% hop-up bucking in this. Get a new hop-up unit in general, and get a better outer barrel. And if you're if you can tech out pretty well, get a new hammer spring and recoil spring, because recoil on it's subpar. It would be better if it was a lot harder, my personal taste. Alright, so basic disassembly of it is you pop that out, or you pop the slide back and you reach for that little knot, the first notch, the smallest notch, and you push that down and you pull this, and you just pull side. Now to get to the hop-up, or not the hop-up, the hop-up is right here. You have to take apart the slide every time you want to adjust it. Yeah, a little wheel right there. And to get the slide, to do basic disassembly, or field strip, whatever it's called, a little pain on these, but you have to push the spring guide and whatever that piece is called, I do not remember. Yeah, you push those two together, then you pull out. Like push together and then just pull out. You have to aim towards the side though. And then to get the barrel out, you just pull. Know how this type of high capa does not have the front bushing, so you don't have to do the turn to the side or anything. Some 1911s will have that where you turn to the side and then you have to pull out. But this is just the pull out style. And I'll show you how it's made of copper and they just repainted right there. That's how you know it's made of copper already, or brass, one or the other. We know they're not using iron because it's cheap. But hey, they're 100 and they're easy to work on. So this is just a review of the sights. They are height sights, so you can have a suppressor added on and you can look over them. Well, you have to get a pistol suppressor though, not a rifle one. It still wouldn't work that way. But you can adjust it upwards and to the side, left and right. And it has a standard front sight with a hole. Not really a hole, you can't put a fiber optic in there. And I got it kind of dented up here, but yours probably won't be like that, I'm pretty sure. On these, it's kind of a pain to get the front sight off if you do want to get a fiber optic. So have a tech, or if you're already experienced and you can do it yourself, then yeah, just do that if you want a fiber optic or new sights. That's pretty much it. So basically we have some standard serrations on 1911s, the slanted serrated here. Pretty easy, regular cockback. Helps somewhat. And we have pretty nice body. The bodies are okay. Like the texturing on them is pretty nice. Same here with the little kind of like spikes, not spikes, but kind of like Rubik's Cube design, or not Rubik's, but you know what I mean. You can just tell. So it's pretty easy to hold. It's got a pretty big grip. So if you have small hands, I don't really recommend it, but yeah, it's all right. It's not too bad. So it comes with a 30-round high cap mag, 5.1 style, which has the bigger base plate. 4.3 has a smaller base plate and smaller base. Then 3.8 is just a lot smaller in general. Yeah, these O-rings at the bottom, they can fall out sometimes, but not really. If you do, you can go out and buy a pack of Moondogs. They're even better, but they're pretty thick. To get the base plate off, there's a button right at the hole right here. You push that and you push it off. Note, it will not come off if your mag is fully loaded, because this will just jam it down and it'll just get caught in there. So you have to unload your entire mag if you want the base plate off. But you can load it with the base plate on if you're using green gas.
Alright, we're going to have Jimmy stand down there at 100 feet from this position where Johnny is, and the camera's going to be muffled because we now put on the case. Okay, we're using .25 BBs, a non-adjusted hop-up unit, and garter bucking. Yeah. 3 on 3. The first shot didn't count because we were adjusting for wind. It's pretty windy out here.
Most high kappas that are unupgraded will often be around 300 and 310, between 280, depending on your day and how much gas you have. Probably around there, if you don't have any valve upgrades or anything like that. So yeah, mine, I run 2.5s in mine, so I get around 280 FPS on a full tank of green gas. I never run anything else because I don't want to break my guns. I like to take good care of them. What else? So even with the standard bucking, you'll probably get around 100 feet, which is perfect for CQB, which is what I recommend these for mostly. And it's a high kappa, it's TM compatible, so if it breaks, you'll always have parts for it. For mine, I have about a 2-pound trigger pull, probably like 1.5 around there, a little more. It's fairly light. And we're just gonna do a mag dump on here. Trigger pull is it, so. And I'm kind of running out of gas, it's not full. I'll change it to another mag. But usually, on a nice day, you will get all 30 rounds on a full tank. Probably maybe 2 mags. Yeah, I don't fill up my gas all the way because it's just going to be a review, but I have full mags in the other area. But it's got subpar recoil.
It's also has a bad cooldown effect.
Yeah, the cooldown effect on it's pretty bad if you're spamming the trigger like I am. You will not be able to spam the trigger too easily on a full slide, so if you want one where you can't spam the trigger, get the Dragon, because it's got a split slide. Yeah. It's just your standard model, it's nothing special. It's pretty average. Pretty light trigger pull though, that's one thing.
Well, you give us the upgrade.
Yeah, you get more upgrades for like any pistol out there. So basically it's cheap, really easy to upgrade. Perfect FPS for CQB, because we have a field that only allows 300 and they allow this. So perfect for strict fields. You can get a lot of rounds. You can get 30 rounds in one package. Pretty gas efficient, depending on your day. Usually it is better than most, because it has a shit ton of gas. It's just easy to upgrade at all, and it's a 1911. And if you want, you can make it look like this. This is a Weed Dragon, but I have a decent amount of stuff in here and the expanded mag well. You can put expanded mag wells onto these as well. Yeah, I don't have my front compensator on here. I took that off for a reason. But that's pretty much it. You can make this into something like this, or even more better. It's TM high cap, but you can find practically anything for this thing. You can find new slides, new frames, new anything on the inside or outside. That's pretty much it. This is Black Mercy Airsoft with a high capa, and this is my overview.